What's up, guys? I'm Mike from Stocked Up, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We had all three indexes break all-time highs today. The S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ all broke all-time highs, and Tesla is exploding once again. Tesla stock soared past all-time highs, hit around $817 today, and was up around 8%. This stock is exploding. In this video, we're going to be talking about Tesla stock and the rest of the stocks that we're watching to end this week. And at the end of the video, we have a $3.1 million option that we are eyeing for next week. So make sure you guys stick around for that. And if you aren't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, what happened in the stock market today?
Yeah, the big news is really that Tesla topped $800. Everybody has had their eyes on that EV sector, and Tesla did actually fantastic today on blue hopes per market watch and the Wall Street upgrade, it says. But really, they rallied towards an all-time high because of the Senate becoming blue, which is actually a potential game changer for the Silicon Valley electric car maker and other EV companies and pretty much other alternatives. So anything solar, anything EV right now is going to do pretty well since we have a blue president, a blue Senate, and a blue House. So that's pretty much the news. I'm not trying to get too political with it, but Tesla really liked the news with that, as did the other EV companies like NIO and LI.
Gotcha. I mean, it's like every single week we're saying Tesla broke all-time highs. I remember when this thing was like trading like at $100, according to post-split levels a couple months ago, and now it's at 822 in after hours. Like this thing breaks all-time highs like every week, and it's just exploding. What do you think? Like, what do you think for tomorrow? What do you think for the next couple months? I know that they're in the S&P 500 now. They have all these upgrades, and they're just killing the game. So what do you see on their chart?
I mean, man, people just keep buying their cars. They keep coming out with new stuff. I just think that they might just keep going up. I mean, if we look at it historically, it looks like they do end up going down a little bit, but really they don't have too big of, dips and stuff like that. Generally, it's just been straight up, at least for the past 2 years. I really like the movement, and it's just a pretty good company. I will say that after the next month or two, I might start to look at it to possibly have a pullback or come down. It looks like it's getting pretty high, but at least for the next few days, man, it just looks like it's running.
Yeah, can you go back to that 5-year daily chart? Guys, this stock is exploding, and you can just see like how vertical this movement is. Like it's just going straight up. It's not like a slow uptrend. This thing is just going straight up. And you can see historically when it does these types of moves, normally it does consolidate and pull back for a couple weeks. So just keep in mind that while this movement is awesome, it's awesome to see that they're always breaking all-time highs. They are going to pull back eventually. So just keep that in mind. I love them for the long term, and they have some great things going for them. Obviously, they're added into the S&P, but they also had some great production numbers and great delivery numbers. So overall, I love them for the long term, but just be careful. Don't buy too much into the hype. Just be pretty careful for the next coming days. Tesla does have some very expensive options. So with that being said, Tom, what other news happened in the market today? I know it was a pretty big day for the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow.
Yeah, really, it was just a very nice day. The political fallout really had me uncertain yesterday. And the thing is I thought the market might actually end up going down. It looked like we were pretty bearish. And then out of nowhere, overnight, the market really shot back up. It seemed like there was actually some political unity that went on today, which was good to see after we saw a drop like that. But it's awesome to see that the NASDAQ composite actually passed $13,000. We know the NASDAQ has been flying a lot lately, and we can see how vertical the NASDAQ is. It's almost it's not Tesla, but it is pretty vertical itself, up quite a bit over the past year or two, almost up 100% from $7,000 if we could rise another $1,000 and hit 14,000. But really, I just like the movement on the NASDAQ and the overall market. And I think that with all that political uncertainty, it looks like that we're now actually getting some certainty with us now with the markets. And we're at all-time highs. And it looks like we might just start to actually break out of this range. And hopefully we can hold and not start to actually fall back down like a lot of people thought.
Gotcha. So looking at Apple and Microsoft, obviously those two stocks have a lot of influence on the NASDAQ. What are you thinking for those two stocks?
Yeah, those stocks, they were able to stay very high as well. Like I said earlier, a lot of the Silicon Valley stocks got affected. Microsoft and Apple both had really good green days. These are going to affect the S&P 500, which will be like the SPY and the QQQ pretty largely. And you can see that both of them hit their all-time highs today. So kudos to that. The SPY did fantastic. Apple did as well, and Microsoft. I just really like to see these types of tech stocks doing well. I think that that's good for the overall market. And even the banks, even they popped this morning in pre-market. They did end up pulling back throughout the day, but like Bank of America was up 10% over the past few days, as well as JP Morgan at the highs.
Yeah, that's awesome. So overall, the market's having a pretty good week, especially Tesla as always. But let's get right into our member of the day. So today's member of the day is Rich L. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Rich. He's always leaving great comments on the YouTube videos and just always just helping the channel. So Tom and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the support, Rich L. And let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Apple. And like we just said, it had a pretty good day today. So, Tom, what levels should we be watching?
Yeah, the high was actually a pretty good support from the other day. So watch for it to pass above that. 131.70.
Gotcha. And then the next one we have Workhorse. So we actually saw a couple of these EV stocks popping today. Workhorse had a pretty solid day, up just under 17%. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's an awesome move. Make them pass above $28. I think that would be an awesome, a pretty good level to pass. And it looks like on their long-term chart, they might start to actually start to retest their highs around $30 to $31.
Sounds good. And then we have LI.
LI, another EV stock to the upside, make them pass above 35.30.
All right. And then last but not least, you already know Tesla.
TSLA, make them pass above 830. I like to give them a little bit of movement because it looks like they might actually move up into that either in after hours or in pre-market tomorrow.
For sure. I mean, this stock has so much momentum. It's awesome to take advantage of that momentum and ride it out while it's there. But everyone, just be careful. It can't last forever. I love Tesla for the long term. Just be careful for a pullback sometime soon. Overall, it's a great stock and has a ton of momentum, though. So let's get right into the $3.1 million option trade for next week. We are looking at the Roku 400 strike call options that expire next Friday, January 15th. So looking at Roku, they also have a ton of momentum. They're up about 10% today, 36 bucks, and they're about $20 away from 400. So this option is a little bit far out of the money, which I don't like. It does have a little bit of time though. So looking at this trade, I think the best way to go about playing it is if you see momentum tomorrow morning or early next week. I think that would be a good time to get in and ride the momentum. I'm not saying that they're necessarily shorting it, but I think this is kind of a confusing signal given that it is $20 out of the money and it does have a little bit of time, but Roku's also popping. So I think the most realistic scenario is that this is a covered call, but overall, in terms of like a short trade, like intraday or just like a scalp or something like that, I think the best way to go about it is just watching it at open or setting an alert if it breaks like 385 or 390 or something like that. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. But let's get right into the questions from the previous episode. We we have the Lord's Chicken saying, thanks in advance, guys. Can you touch up on Walmart for the short term and the long term? And if you talk about CSCO for the short term and long term as well. So, Tom, what are you thinking about Walmart and CSCO?
Yeah, I love the name there. Walmart actually looks like it might start to go bullish here over the next few days, especially if the overall market is bullish. I really like them on the daily chart. It looks like they're starting to kind of bounce off the 100 SMA here and off of some of these supports and start to retest highs. Hopefully they can like rise up to maybe $150 again. I'd like to see that. And in the long term, I always like Walmart. They dominate the retail market with everything with groceries, and they even do automotive stuff now. So I mean, they have a lot of stuff going for them, and they do a lot of online sales. And what was the other one? CSCO.
Yep.
Cisco, yeah. Oh wow, this stock's actually pretty low. They could do pretty well given given that they're a tech company. I think that they could end up popping over the next couple of months. I'm not sure that they'll be able to retest 58, but it looks like that they are starting to pop again, which is good. And they ended up hitting support again around $35. So I really like this stock in the short term and the long term. I think, especially if the overall market goes up, just given that this is another tech stock.
Yeah, it's a nice value stock too. So good stuff there. With the next question, we have Sam asking about TTD. So this is another tech stock. Obviously, they had an amazing year. Looking at them on a technical standpoint, they look good, but I can definitely see them falling more if you're looking to buy shares. Overall, for the long term, it looks pretty good. In the short term, I can definitely see it falling more, though. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about, guys. Whenever we see a stock that's overly vertical, and like whenever we start to see a pretty good pullback on it, this is what we're talking about. Exactly what we see with the trade desk right here. We can actually compare that almost to Tesla right now. I'm not saying Tesla's going to do that because I think Tesla's a lot better of a company, but TTD is pretty good as well, and you can see how much they pulled back, even though they had all of that momentum as well.
For sure. With the next question, we have CBK saying, "Hey guys, how's the Neo Head and Shoulders looking? Do you think there's more room to the downside with Neo? I'm in 45 strike puts for next week and up 150% already. Still holding. So what do you think, Tom?"
Yeah, it actually went pretty red the other day, which was yesterday, and you can see how low it actually got. But with that news that came out last night, it seems that it sent all these EV stocks and the overall market back to the upside, and it actually hasn't broken back above that shoulder yet. But honestly, with the movement that we have right now, I would not be surprised if it broke that high.
Gotcha. All right. With the next question, we have Anna saying, "Thanks, guys. We'll look at the VIX. What do you think of Riot on a crypto play?" So, Tom, we know the stock likes to run up when crypto runs up. Obviously, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have just been exploding recently, and so has Riot and even MARA. So I think this is an amazing way. Like if you can't directly trade Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, this can be a great way to kind of follow their movement. Another good route is to just buy the cryptocurrency. Just go to Robinhood or Coinbase or wherever else to just buy the cryptocurrency itself. But Tom, what are you thinking of these blockchain stocks?
Yeah, with the stocks themselves, I don't like them near as much as I like the crypto itself. You know, Bitcoin is obviously doing very good, up around 39,000, and it keeps growing pretty exponentially. Riot does pretty well as well, but you can see how much Riot like drops off in the middle of the day, where Bitcoin might drop off like that. But just keep in mind that with a stock, it's only $24. It's not 39,000 moving down to, you know, 38,500. It's a stock moving from 24 down to 22, so it's a lot higher of a percentage. And I just think that overall, though, the stock Riot will do well as long as Bitcoin keeps going up. But really, I'm worried because if Bitcoin starts to go down, Riot will crash, you know, possibly more than Bitcoin can. Because if you look at the long term on Riot, it's actually it's actually getting close to where it was whenever Bitcoin went up to around 20,000. But you can see that with the movement that Bitcoin's had now, you would think that it would have doubled the movement it had last time since it's now at 40,000. So you can see that it's not that this does actually decay somewhat.
Gotcha. And then, if we look at Bitcoin, it actually broke 40,000 today, which is awesome. It broke 40,000 and then had a huge pullback all the way back down to 36,000. And now it's all the way back up to 39,500. So overall, there's a ton of momentum. And, Riot can be a good way to capitalize off that if you can't directly trade those cryptocurrencies. But with that being said, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
I really like the market for tomorrow. I think that we could possibly continue this run to all-time highs. The QQQ didn't break all-time highs by too much today, so hopefully we can see another run out of it tomorrow, especially if Tesla and Neo and all these other stocks go up. I think that would be awesome. The QQQ, the SPY, and the DIA, I'll definitely be watching those tomorrow for some quick options trades. But other than that, I really like a lot of other stocks to the upside as well. As long as we can hold these levels and keep moving up, it seems like that there's been a lot of certainty in the market. We were very uncertain. Some certainty is poured in. There's actually some bipartisan support in Congress right now. which is pretty unheard of. So just watch out for some black swan events going forward over the next couple of weeks. But really, it seems like Congress kind of pulled together. And with that being said, I think that that could be a pretty good path forward for the markets with that type of certainty.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.